I think when I sleep in the tree, that might be a little difficult. There aren't really any trees in the Shattered Plains.
It's true.
Um,
We're gonna make our way to Shinovar.
Yeah.
well, and there again, sleeping in a tree, I can be flexible on that. If you sleep outside under the stars in some form or fashion, I think it's more like don't sleep inside. So, again,
You
Joel's
can just sleep
flexible
in a
that way.
creme puddle.
Yeah.
What? No. Bugs. Anyway. So you guys have seen the introduction, but let us go ahead, go through the motions, get us up to speed. The Stormlight Archive is the story of Roshar, a world of storms and war. It is a story of growth, of passion, of honor. And today, it is a story that you will tell. You are not yet heroes. You currently live in a war camp at the edge of the Shattered Plains, a vast expanse of chasms and plateaus. Today, you're traveling with soldiers and scholars loyal to an Altheri noble named High Prince Sadeas. That is where our story begins. A few days ago, a high storm uncovered ruins dating back to the Silver Kingdoms. Now, you're part of an expedition sent across the Barren Stone to investigate what is left of those ruins. We had talked about your roles, your background, your arrival, your place within the grand scheme of things. Do you remember what those were?
For our characters?
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm a leader. Or a soldier, sorry. Soldier, one of those? Yeah.
Kind of a mercenary for hire
Yes.
as an extra on board.
Yeah. And I was taken as a prisoner, being caught in a bad deal when I was doing my trading / spy work in the in and around the Pure Lake.
Indeed, which you are definitely far from home. In a land that you may or may not find rougher than your origins. Of course, their customs built around like the caste system with the color of eyes, very militaristic. The roles of gender, in that women are encouraged to be readers and cerebral, where the men are encouraged to be warlike, physical.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially very different for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there will be opportunities to expand and reveal more about your characters. I'm not sure how much a hired hand and a member of the actual bridge crew will have had interactions. What do you think as far as knowing your characters themselves and how they would engage with others, particularly in off time when you're camping, during meal times and such? Is there a chance that you will have had opportunity to meet each other a little bit more intimately, or do you think you would have been kept separate, bridge crew and soldiers, as it were?
The bridge crew, the bridge crew probably are very much down in the dumps in their own little areas. But I feel like
Yes, 100%.
Loon being an outsider just altogether, might end up wandering about and attempting to find anybody really to talk to, because the bridge crews are as good as anybody else, and I wouldn't have the same prejudices, I guess, against the bridge crews that the regular soldiers might have,
Yeah.
because it's not my culture. So to me, they look like other men, and they get me across the cavern safely. So I might go and say hi every once in a while.
Okay. And as far as that caste system is regarded, you'll notice, of course, the Prime Captain, a couple of his closer advisors, even the Scholar, have lighter shades eyes, greens and blues. Um, are you yourself dark or light-eyed?
Um, we don't have the same sort of caste system.
Right.
But let's say in the books, Rock is the character that everybody's most familiar with. Everybody in the bridge crew sort of considers him a light eyes because he is a fourth son, so he's, uh, more respected in his family. He's almost like royalty. So with me being a third son, I might be seen as something similar to like the dark eyes people, but I wouldn't be seen as light eyes to other light eyes people.
Okay. It's an interesting kind of middle ground you would find yourself in. And again, being an outsider, you'll notice,
Yeah.
if you yourself are uh, of darker shades eyes, of course, they might be a little bit condescending at times. That's not everybody. Not everyone, of course, abuses lower caste. Some people simply accept their station in life, treat everybody as equals, respect their station, etc. But there are
Hmm.
others, of course, who lean into the nobility, the prestige, and cast shade downwards. So just kind of curious where you fall into that. So for Kavesh, also being an outsider, um, you would catch on that a couple of the mercenaries working to protect the bridge crew do stand out as being foreign. Their garb,
Yeah.
their manner of speaking, and etc. So you might feel an inclination, a kinship to some degree with them, even if it's just acknowledging, like, hey, we're both in this hellish landscape together, far from home, be able to share a nod and a fist bump over that at least.
Yeah, Kavesh being from the west kind of views the eastern like war nations like Alethkar as kind of like big bad colonizers. He doesn't look well on them. So I think he'd be pretty motivated to find kind of allies that weren't Alethi.
Okay. And let's bear in
Yep.
mind, too, that you are wrongfully and against your will imprisoned into service of the bridge crew. It's not like you're like, well, Mom, I'm going to go fulfill my lifetime dream of,
I
slaving
think
away.
wrongfully might be questionable. But yes, he sure doesn't want to be there.
Unwillingly, yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, given that, then, what perhaps, even if it's just minor, what previous interactions might the two of you have had?
Loon would have probably wandered over during a bridge run at some point, or a chasm run at some point in time, and noticed all of these bridge crews, and probably at the very least had said, thank you for your hard work or whatever, right? Just very respectful in general,
Sure.
and maybe uh, saw somebody who looked a little out of place and commented on it, and got to know him in passing. Just a like, oh, I'm on my horse, or I'm marching, or whatever, and like, oh, hey, you're kind of out of place. How's it going?
Yeah, I think Kavesh is very much keeps to himself. Um, so I think he's kind of naturally separated himself from the majority of the bridge crew, which I'm assuming is likely majority Alethi. Um, and I think that whenever he sees Lone and kind of clocks, oh, that is a big ass cockroach. Hold on, hell no, it's on my
Ew.
desk.
Ew.
Oh
Ugh.
dear. Yeah, you got to burn it down now. That's the rules. You can't live there anymore.
I'm in South Florida, guys. It's like it's wild. They're so big. Oh my
So,
god.
I'm from Washington originally, and so I'd never seen a cockroach in my life. Like, there's other things like spiders and stuff, mostly
Welcome to Texas,
non-harmful,
buddy.
right? Yeah. So when I first moved here, I was staying actually with Torfu, who just joined the chat here. Hey, how's it going? Fly on the wall.
Hey.
who keeps a very clean house, and I never saw a bug, not even once ever. And that was awesome. And then I moved out on my own, and there was like a cockroach nest that was inside. I'm pretty sure it was inside my mini fridge, and I had never
Oh,
seen them
Oh.
before. And I kept seeing these bugs everywhere, and like, dude, it freaked me out. I hate creepy crawly things. I think about them
Mhm.
crawling on me at night, and it just gives me the willies. And like, I was just like the Terminator. Every opportunity I had, like, I would stop what I was doing, kill all the visible bugs, clean everything down. Eventually, my landlord brought over some powder, and that helped with the issue. So then I didn't have cockroaches, and then I moved into the unit next door, and ants became a thing. So I went
Oh
Terminator mode
God.
and went through. It was like the
yeah,
exact same thing. Eventually, the landlord brings over some powder. Right now, I
yeah.
don't have
Ants are going to be
either.
your primary concern in Texas continually. They're everywhere. You'll never rid of them.
Well,
Well,
knock on wood. I don't want to jinx myself, but I've been pretty ant free for a little while just because of vigilance and putting that powder down. Anyway, I digress. Cockroaches are icky.
Yeah.
Good news and bad news. The cockroach that was on the desk is dead and gone. Bad news. There's another one on the wall, too high for me to reach, and there's two, and that makes me think there's going to be more.
Oh dear.
Yes.
But we're gonna move. I'm not even gonna fight that battle right now.
Yeah, so I'm in North Dakota, and every 6 months we have a very harsh winter that pretty much kills every bug. So as long as as long as you keep it relatively clean, the most you're gonna get is like flies and
Yeah.
spiders. We do get a lot of spiders. Unfortunately, we do have to burn our house down because we get spiders. But other than that, yeah, it's not bad.
I'm not
We just got
so.
gators down here,
That's a different kind of pest altogether.
and I'm only joking a little bit.
I'm not so bothered by like the daddy longlegs and stuff. I feel like if there's a stray bug, maybe they'll catch them. So I generally leave those alone. A spider that is not a daddy longlegs to me is just a threat to my personal space, and I go crazy on it
Yeah.
into attack
Oh.
mode
I
because I just don't know.
I bought one of those bug salt guns.
Those look fun.
Yeah, and I just bought it, and then my wife is like, "Oh, hey, can you come in here in this bathroom and kill this spider?" And I'm like, "Can I do it with the assault gun?" She's like, "Yeah, fine, okay, sure, but hurry up! Like, there's a spider here." I'm like, "Okay, hold on." I rip it out of the packaging, pour the salt in it, like go in. I'm like, "All right, where is this spider? I'm gonna shoot it." And she's like, "Oh, it's right here. Hold on, I'll make it a moving target for you." She moves. It was in the bathroom, right? She moves the floor mat, and then there are two more sitting right next to it, and I'm just like, "Oh God, bam, bam, bam." Yes, the salt gun was very effective for that, but it was terrifying.
I need to
Salt
get one
gun
of
is
those.
extra effective.
Lord, sorry. Anyway, Kavesh is always on the fringes.
So you would have very quickly identified each other as being outsiders among these people, and kind
Yeah,
of by your natures. So
Yeah, I think it's maybe like a largely unspoken kinship.
yeah, at least for now. Yeah, some recognition
Yeah.
given, some empathy for the situation of being far from home. Perhaps a little bit more from Loon since you're enslaved into bridge crew activity.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, this expedition, of course, is underway, and it is about midday when you reach a a plateau crossing. The scholar who's in charge of this emotes that it should be the last one. The scholars are riding in wagons that are pulled by the chulls. The have become familiar now with the carapace-covered legs clicking. They're very
Mhm.
slow but steady steps. The bridge crew, of course, carries a pretty heavy burden. Every time they reach an edge of a plateau, they have to heave the pre-constructed bridge forward, push it across the chasm. As the bridgemen, are struggling with the heavy wooden bridge, a scout announces, "We're nearly to the ruins." And so it is time for you to cross one more chasm, and you can see the darkness far below. Are either of you bothered by heights?
Cast magic missile at him.
Well, Kavach
No.
grew up in the flatlands near water, and so he's not necessarily comfortable with heights just because he's not experienced with it.
All right. Yeah, so the bridge itself is
Loon.
about 30 feet long. Oh, go ahead, Loon, yes.
Well, I was going to say Loon is Highlander. So in the mountains there are, I'm sure, cliffs and caves and whatnot, and heights is just sort of a thing.
Indeed. So, quite a contrast there in your comfortability with the situation. um, the bridge, again, about 30 feet long, 8 foot wide, and the chasm itself goes down about 80 feet. Some places too dark to see, some places the sun trickles in. Falling into the chasm would likely result in death of your characters because you are level 1 and don't have many hit points. I'm just looking real quick here at your character sheet for reference.
You throw a dragon at him. Yeah, kill while the killing's easy.
Throw a dragon.
Just
Dragons in this universe are hardcore.
Yeah, I don't even know what Cosmere is. Don't mind me.
They're like pretty much gods in this.
Yeah, okay. So, for example, Loon has 13 health. Yeah, fall into the chasm is like, on average, 28 damage. So,
Yeah.
don't fall. Keep steady. So, everyone, of course, the bridge crew gets the bridge laid out. They're waiting for the crossing to go through. Once it's in place, caravan starts making its way across. Soldiers, bridge staff, wagon. But as the Chol reaches the midpoint of the bridge, there's a scraping noise beginning in the chasm below. The Chol scuttles to the
Chasm
side,
changed.
snapping its claws, very clearly agitated. It is refusing to move, even as the soldiers are bringing out ropes to help to encourage it to move forward. Now, both of you, of course, seeing that the Chol is agitated. You haven't really seen this before. Previous chasm crossings with the bridge, it just kind of scuttles across as is natural. But now, something has definitely irked it. The familiarity you might have with local flora and fauna is, I reckon, to be determined, unless you have currently an expertise as such.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so. It would just be stories, right?
Yeah.
For however long we're here, whoever we talk to is going to tell us stories. Oh yeah, we have to. You got to watch out for this. Yeah, I came back on this mission, and like 5 of us died because of this or whatever, right?
Yeah, so a very common fear, just kind of spoken of, kind of like the boogeyman, but in large dragon form, would be the chasm fiends. They're kind of spoken of. Nobody present has encountered them before, but they are a known threat. And something like, it's kind of spoken of, like, well, I hope we don't run into anything like that. Ha 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 ha. It's funny, not funny. As a note, this introductory adventure does do, in a few places, kind of gives for a couple of examples of things that can be done. I know that you guys are experienced role players. I don't want it to feel like mansplaining or too much hand holding. But bear with me as sometimes I'll kind of put those suggestions out there. You can take the carrot or not. Don't take it as you have to do one of those things. But if you want to latch onto those, if it's something like, yes, my character would do that, or hey, that's a good idea. If no one else is doing it, I would feel motivation to do so. So again, bear with that. There will be less of that as time goes on, but introductory module definitely wants to go out of its way to assist with just kind of thinking of ways to approach situations, using your skills, stuff like that. So in this instance, there are a couple of opportunities. Again, in noticing that the Chol is spooked, you might show an interest in that specifically. Also, too, someone who has more of a slant toward leadership might think to warn some of the others in seeing that. You guys are both close enough to see the unsettled Chol. Of course, not everybody in this expedition can see it from your vantage point or their vantage point.
Yes, Loon would definitely do that. The moment he saw something, he might not know what a chasm fiend is, but he knows that the Chol being unsettled is a bad sign. So Loon is going to attempt to hurry them up, or help, or calm the Chol a little bit, or something to try and get him across.
All right. Can you please then go ahead and make for me a leadership test with a DC of 10?
Yes, just a D20, yeah? Or is there a different way to do this?
You should be able to, from your character sheet, let me open that up and see what exactly
on the
is and
demi-plane
might
ones.
be clickable. But yeah, on the demi-plane.
Yeah, you can click the modifier on each thing. So if you look under spiritual leadership, you can click the plus whatever, and it should roll, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Am I
exactly
opening
the
up
sort
my
of thing.
character sheet in Roll20, or am I opening up my character sheet in
Roll20.
the Nexus or whatever? Okay.
Yeah, I would say open it in
Okay.
Roll20, and then when you hover over stuff, you can see that the little dice shows up.
I
So
see.
as described, you have like leadership has the word. If you click on that, it opens up a description. If you click on
Yep.
the +1 next to it with the dice, it should roll into the chat.
Okay. So then skill roll, leadership,
Yeah.
complication range, opportunity range. 1 and 20 is still the same.
Yep.
Click roll, I
Yep.
assume. All right. I've clicked it.
Nice.
Hey, it gave you the same dice result. Awesome.
Very nice. Huh.
All right. So acting quickly, Loon is able to call out a warning to those who are present that something has unsettled the Chol, might create an awkward situation. For Kavesh, who is more hands-on and kind of focused on the laborious task rather than external, make for me, please, either, it's up to you, difficulty 10, deduction or survival.
Okay. Yeah, who's gonna make a deduction test? I'll take it.
All right. So, in working with the bridge crew and having gone over chasms before, again, this is the first time you've seen a Chol react in such a way. And noticing that it is spooked, you can only presume it's something external. Again, you've heard the horror stories of things scuttling in the chasms, whether they're smaller or larger. But it is likely to be the presence of an apex predator that is creating the spooking. So you are definitely on edge, kind of hyper aware, if you will.
Wait.
So as the scraping sounds grow louder, the Chol itself, you can see, starts retreating into its shell. And then very suddenly, there's a shriek, claws on stone, massive creature charges up the side of the chasm. Bridgemen and soldiers alike scream as what can only be identified as a chasm fiend explodes into view. One of the creature's massive claws begins hauling itself onto the bridge, scraping and splintering the wooden planks. The violet-black carapace kind of casts a shadow over, particularly where Kavesh's knelt down, dealing with the bridge. It is, again, an incredibly massive creature that towers over the Chol, the wagons, the entire bridge.
Is am I carrying a weapon that was issued to me by the Alethi? Like, am I holding a spear, or do I just have my hammer?
You will typically have just what you have brought to the situation. I would reckon that they would have some extras for you as far as they would give you at least a basic spear in your position. They've got extras.
Yeah.
They'd be a bit begrudging of it. You get a little bit of disdain from the others about being an unprepared outsider. A couple people might laugh. Fancy yourself a soldier, do you, boy?
The reason I ask is, if I'm a mercenary, I probably wouldn't have brought a hammer as my first option, but that is the weapon that I would choose normally. You know what? No, I brought a hammer. Screw it.
Okay.
I have a hammer, and I'm going to attempt to attack the chasm fiends, one of the chasm fiends' legs, if possible, and like squish a toe and really piss it off.
Well, it is a little bit out of your range. You're a bit ahead of the group, having crossed already, and it's clawing at the bridge. You have an opportunity to charge forward, but things are happening very, very quickly.
Okay.
Not for this scene, no.
Okay, I'm just making sure I wasn't missing. Cool, just checking.
You'll see right away the mandibles of the chasm fiend close around a fleeing scout. There are soldiers who immediately try to come in with the idea that Loon had as far as trying to poke it, scare it, defend themselves, defend the bridge crew. The chasm fiend is easily batting them aside, sending them flying down to the chasm. You hear their screams as they fall. It is a little bit of a brutal scene.
Lovely.
I'm still going to rush towards it.
There are, of course, other members of the expedition trying to push past each other to flee. Before you have the opportunity to really kind of escape, you see the chasm fiend really pushing hard, trying to pull their upper half up onto the bridge. They've got 4 smaller legs in addition to their larger claws and mandibles. And you hear a resounding crack. You realize the creature's weight is too much and the bridge is falling. Now, because the two of you are very close, Loon charging in with his hammer to help defend, Kavesh working with the bridge crew trying to help keep it secure as it's coming to pieces. You can see, again, the bridge broken in the center, the ends kind of grinding against the uneven walls of the chasm and slowing the fall, as it were. There are people on the edges of the bridge tumbling over the side. Some people are clinging to the bridge. I will need each of you to, if you please, make for me your choice of an athletics or agility test.
Both of us?
Please and thank you.
Ooh, that's a nat 20.
Ooh-wee.
We're going to go agility. No, athletics. What am I talking about? We're going
agility or athletics. It's up to you.
Did I roll it? Did I do the thing?
And you both have an extra advantage here, just given from the previous. Advantage works just like D&D. You can roll it twice, keep the better result. But due to the warnings from Loon, the ability to kind of sense the trepidation from the Chol on the part of Kavesh, both of you will have advantage on this. Can't do better than a natural 20, so I recommend just keeping that.
But I can see if I can get it twice. And that's absolutely what I'm going to try and do. Shit.
Hey, waste a roll that might have been yours.
Hey, nice.
Awesome. And then I don't know if the demiplane sheet, I apologize, this is something I should have looked into before because it's kind of a core mechanic. I don't know if the demiplane sheet has a place to roll the plot die.
It has a raise the stakes spot.
Yes,
That is
I
exactly
think.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does that come up when you go to make a roll? Or, oh, hey, there it is.
Yeah, it's under the cognitive section.
Yeah. So what happens when you click that? I don't want to just click it. I have Loon's character sheet open, and I see it lights up when you hover over it.
So yeah, I
that
can
is awesome.
do when
I just rolled
you
3?
do the roll itself, it gives you the option at the bottom to raise the stakes, off to the left there or whatever.
Oh,
There's
okay.
that pop up that comes up.
Oh, okay,
Or if you're doing it outside of rolling a skill check, you can click on the raise the stakes thing. I suppose.
Okay. That is something then I will try to remember to, hey, raise the stakes on this with future ones. That way you can do it as part of the same roll.
Okay, sweet.
All right, so it looks like for the sake of Loon, and again, it adds to your results. So with the complication, it's kind of like a success but, and then the custom roll there by Kavesh looks like 3 open faces there.
I think I did that incorrectly.
I'm not sure why it did 3, but
Yeah, me neither. Oh, I can roll that again. Wait. So confused.
it's okay. That's what times
Okay,
like
there
this
it
are
goes.
for,
There was a
kind of
single
figuring
one.
out. All right, there's a single one, and it comes up blank, so nothing special there. Unfortunately for Kavesh, or no, it was Loon. Loon got the complication there.
Yep.
As you are charging forward, you are able to definitely dodge through the people. You are able to keep your balance coming onto the bridge, but somebody trying to run away from the chasm fiend bumps into you very hard, and you hear something crack, something in your pocket, in your pack. One of your personal items has become broken. It is not your hammer, which is clenched sturdily in your hand, but something on your person definitely broke. Again, within the pocket, within your pack. What item might have that been?
That's a good question. I have a couple things. Yes, I have some alcohol apparently. I have a musical instrument. I've got a whetstone. I have a candle that might have cracked.
I
I have an ink
believe
pen.
what you will have heard sounded more like glass. You won't feel
Okay,
the wetness trickling until you've had a moment to gather yourself.
so it's just it's the okay. I have an alcohol bottle, but I also just have a regular glass bottle. You're saying the alcohol is leaking.
There
Darn.
will be some liquid pooling over time.
Is
But
there a this thing is broken button? No.
I don't
Okay.
believe so, no. It's
Okay.
extra flavor. We'll have to do our best to remember.
Either
Eh,
way, a broken glass of alcohol is useless, and so I'm going to delete it.
all right. You might be able to find a use for the glass shards, or like wring out the cloth around it to try to still do a shot glass. I don't know. At your leisure.
Yeah.
But both of you are able to avoid any kind of injury. Again, some people are falling and tripping over themselves, getting scraped, bruised. on the debris. Some people are just being caught in the claws of the chasm fiend and either eaten or smacked off the bridge. There's lots of screaming as bodies fall into the chasm. You hear, and the two of you, being close enough to the edge, can see that, again, you're on a part of the bridge, like the larger part of it that is slipping into the chasm. Again, you are keeping your balance, you're avoiding injury, but you are sliding into the depths of the chasm itself. The bridge itself lands with a deafening crash. On the top of the chasm fiend, you can hear snapping as the beast's smaller legs, certainly underneath, have been compromised. There's a roar in pain. The chasm fiend recoils from the bridge, pulling free, retreating into the west. The chasm fiend, because you did see it move and scurry away, a little bit limping, it's not seriously injured, but definitely surprised and rattled.
Has decided it's not worth its time.
Well, that remains to be seen, because there is still lots of squishy little snacks that are now in its domain rather than above.
Yeah, I was fixing to ask. You said that we're both in the process of slipping into the cavern, the chasm.
Yes, it's kind of sliding down, and it does come
The bridge.
into a crash. Lots of dust
Nice.
will billow up. But again, you guys have managed to cling to the upper part of it, your athletics and agility rolls respectively, keeping you safe from harm. Again, that broken glass you might want to address eventually. Down in the chasm itself, it's almost like you've fallen into another world. The walls themselves are pretty smooth, having been worn down by millennia of flash floods. There are vines and frill blooms that are growing, and you can even see slightly green glowing motes of lifespren attending those frill blooms. Bridge itself, crushed beyond repair. Bodies of your companions lying beside it, under it. When things settle a little bit, you can actually hear faint groans emitting from underneath the broken planks.
Oh, there we go.
And I just have your tokens kind of generally there. Let me move you onto the bridge there.
Cool.
Onto the stronger part. You can see the main scholar, Elia. She is standing up. There are a couple of bridgemen who you will see under some of the rubble. You'll see a couple soldiers, captain himself, standing tall.
And did you said that we heard some groaning from beneath the bridge as well?
Yes. So there are two soldiers you can see that made it through the disaster. Again, you hear the grumbling. So there's at least one bridgeman, if not more. As everybody's kind of helping each other up out of the rubble, the surviving members of the expedition here, kind of surveying, looking at each other, kind of taking in the scene, taking in each other, now being closely. This is an opportunity to share something distinctive, a physical trait about you that would be seen, acknowledged by the others. Most of the people who live in the war camps are Alethi. They have tan skin, dark hair. You guys know that. What is something, a feature that makes you stand out amongst the group? You may have already mentioned it. Might be something that has not yet been spoken. Can be about your attire or a scar, unique hairstyle, all kinds of stuff.
Loon, despite the picture there, Loon would have a thickly, loosely braided, long hair and a well-kept but long beard, very dark, very black.
Oh, okay.
Not black,
Your
but like
your
dark brown.
your character picture is very, very clean shaven.
Yeah, you just sort of pick from the couple that are there on the thing.
Okay.
Does he have like horny or red hair too?
I was going to
I was
ask
going for
about
like a
that.
darker brown,
Okay.
less red, but yeah.
Sweet. And Gavesh is
It
kind
should
of
have like a red tinge to it, like a I don't know,
a
Is it
not quite
like an
auburn, but
auburn, but
burgundy
okay.
brown.
in the right light, you might get a little red.
Okay. So that would hint perhaps at a mixed parentage situation.
Possibly. I didn't think about that, but you know what? Yeah.
To be considered. Yeah, the horn eaters are definitely the gingers of the world. I'm a daywalker
Yep.
with auburn hair, so we can call each other that. The but yeah, that is definitely kind of a distinctive feature among them. And as a side note, I did read, and this isn't necessarily a spoiler or anything, but their lineage is actually tied back into history with some better attunement
With the
to the
singers.
Spren. Right.
Yep.
So that could explain, because you had mentioned Rock being able to see Spren before others. He could have
Yep.
been, hypothetically, again, I'm not an expert, but just kind of more attuned to that, as it were. But that is something that might be a thing.
Yeah, and then Kavesh is kind of he's a slightly below average height and built, a pretty small build, like muscular but slim.
Okay.
Young, kind of brown skinned, brown eyed, curly headed kid, like maybe early 20s. Um,
Okay.
and that's pretty much it physically.
Pretty young.
Oh yeah, I suppose in terms of stature, Loon is going to be like beefy. You know, he's been a
Beefy.
blacksmith his entire life, so he's
Ah, yes.
taller than the average horn eater, who's already pretty big. But in my mind, I'm thinking uh, Pacific Islander sort of beefy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like Jason Momoa.
Yeah, that sort of a thing.
The Rock. Not
Perfect.
like the Yoku. I'm a wrestling fan, so I'm familiar with a lot of Polynesian descent in the wrestling business.
Hmm.
So they lean
Hmm.
either toward a very muscular frame, or they have that big and bulky, like they still have a bit of a gut, but it's power. It's not like
Yeah,
flab, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
right.
Well, uh, how convenient that a couple of strong and burly people are here to help. You can see there's a man named Doral. He is the oldest bridge member of the crew. And you see him kind of pull himself out, go into a sitting position. You see him wincing in pain, laying his hand over out his leg, which from your vantage point you can see is twisted in a direction unnatural. Kind of forces a little bit of a smile between a grimace and pain. Says, Bridge 9, we've always been survivors. By the Almighty, we'll survive this.
Loon's gonna go over and see if there's anything he can do to help. If there's I don't know. He doesn't. Loon doesn't really know anything about medicine or anything like that. But do you need me to pick you up and carry you somewhere? Like I could, I don't know, set you down someplace.
Um, if you can do it gently, he would appreciate being pulled away from all the dead bodies and debris, a little bit more of a clear
Mm.
area. Um, at this instance, because a lot has fallen into the chasm here, again, it's a very smooth surface up and about 80 feet up. You have the opportunity here not only to search for survivors, you might be able to search for food, recover water, create tools, salvage valuables. But as far as climbing to safety, you can see Casamol is definitely too sheer. You can try to get to like a ledge, but beyond that, it would be impassable. But yeah, you've got a few options as far as what you can do here as people are kind of recovering, shaking the dust from their heads, etc. If you are looking to help, you can roll um, a medicine test to help another person because you guys are fine. You don't have to worry about using your recovery die, but that is something you could have done in the instance that you'd been hurt. Luckily, you came out of it rather unscathed. If you do have ranks in the medicine, you can perform the medicine test. Or you can simply search for other survivors. There are other grumbles and
I'm going to do that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Kavesh has clocked the noise coming from below the bridge, so he definitely wants to take a look at that. But I think he'll probably have noticed Loon offering to help Dural,
Mhm.
and he has some background in medicine, so I think he's going to kind of walk up, kind of behind Loon before he goes to grab him, and offer to see if he could take a look at the leg.
Oh, okay. Yeah, with that offer, if Kavesh wants to take over with helping Dural, that would open it up for Loon to search around at, hopefully,
Yes,
finding helping other survivors.
I'm lifting all of the heavy things, trying to get things off of people's legs or whoever's trapped, trying to find anybody that I can, anybody who's a survivor that I can help and in whatever way I can.
Alrighty. Well, let me go ahead then and have you guys roll some dice, respectively. For Loon, can I please get a perception test? And for Kavesh, a medicine.
Can do.
Yes.
Oh, baby. Natural
Ooh-wee.
20.
I'm apparently not very perceptive.
All right. So Kavesh, being able to aid Dural a little bit, drag him away, help in lending some aid there. How many ranks, please, of medicine do you have?
I have a +3.
Ah, excellent. So +3, able to get him stabilized. There's plenty of debris where you can apply kind of a makeshift splint, get that leg secure. Of course, you can't heal a broken leg just with a poultice or herbs or band-aids, but you can get him into a much more comfortable position.
Sweet.
Thank you, lad.
I had an idea.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, ideas.
After my failed perception, I realized that I probably can't do this alone, and I'm going to attempt to gather anybody who's not severely injured to help me look. I'm going to try and create a party, a small party to get more eyes and ears looking and more people helping to lift and things like that.
Okay. The captain is currently assisting and speaking to Elia. She's the main scholar of the expedition. There is a spearman nearby, leaning on his spear. He's got a little bit of blood on his face, but the wounds appear to be mostly superficial. You are welcome to attempt to persuade him to assist, as he
I
is
will
just
definitely
kind of
attempt to do
standing
that.
there. He's just kind of standing there looking around. And for you, you're like, hey, buddy, if you could help me look for other people, surely there are others. And like, hey, what? Instead of just standing there doing nothing.
Yeah. I assume I know his name because we're part of the same crew.
Yes, that is Spearman Varda. He's
Varda, yes, okay.
close cropped hair, has dark green eyes. He's pretty muscular, pretty fit from his training, but you have found him to be slow to act. You're not sure yet if he's just a coward or lazy or trepidatious about everything, but he's not the type to really be ambitious and take charge himself.
So I'm going to shout over at Spearman Varda. Varda, the rock that you are standing on will hold itself in place just fine. Do you think you might come over and help me find people who are injured?
All right, let's see how your persuasion goes.
Can Kavesh aid this roll?
Um,
Or is that not how aid works? I may have been misusing it.
in situations, you certainly can aid and give advantage to attempts. In this situation, it could go either way because if you insult him too much, he might be frozen. But you could kind of encourage from the side, like, yeah, buddy, like, we're all in this together. Like, I'm over here helping this guy. What are you doing? Doing nothing there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, never mind.
Yeah.
If you want to apply
Sure.
some
Sure.
aid and just trying to encourage, you are welcome to give advantage to his roll, which was not particularly high.
Yeah, let's do that. And I think the way that he'll do it isn't like by building on to the mocking, but it's kind of like he's gonna make his way towards Loon to help and try and make eye contact with Varda and kind of just gesture with his head, just like, come on, man, let's just do it.
All right,
It's
so
good, man.
go ahead and Loon, make that roll again.
Oops.
No.
Oh dear.
When you roll with advantage, you're supposed to get a different number. I don't know if I
Oh yeah.
if I told you. So Varda
Yeah.
just looks stuck in place. He's looking at Captain Selenar, who's very quietly talking to Elias, surveying the scene. He looks a little bit stuck. He does not, you believe, want to take commands from an outsider or a bridge crew. So it looks like he's kind of staying his ground there. But with Doral being secured, Kavesh, you are welcome to join Loon. You can either each make your own perception check, and I think that would be best if you guys want to continue to scour.
Yeah, I think Kavesh will head over to Loon and kind of tongue in cheek say these airsick lowlanders, am I right?
You're one to talk.
Yeah. And then I think he'll take a look around.
Alrighty, go ahead and please, if you will, 2 perception checks, 1 for each of you respectively.
I am still
Good
not very
Lord.
perceptive. I'm sorry.
Right.
It's a curse I have.
Getting that ones left and right.
I will, as you guys are working together, and as time goes on, things have kind of settled. So those who are like coughing or straining might be heard. Go ahead and make that with advantage.
Did I do it?
Kavesh is convinced that there is rubble here.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. The one roll came through.
There we go.
Those are not particularly high results, guys.
Yeah.
Nope. Not.
No such luck, yeah.
As far as you can tell, the bodies that remain have ceased to draw breath.
Oh no.
But you have an opportunity as well. You can see Captain Selenar and Elia, they're starting to get their bearings. They're looking over the situation, seeing that there aren't many in the way of survivors. Both of you get an inkling. You know that you're going to have to leave this scene. You know that you're going to have to travel through the canyon. So you both kind of feel a compulsion like, do we have the supplies to survive? Perhaps could there be anything within the rubble here that might be salvageable? You're welcome to look for food or water or valuables.
Yes, we're definitely going to do that.
All right. Go ahead and raise the stakes on your rolls and let me know which thing you might be looking for.
What role is this?
I
Perception, I assume?
I can't answer that until you tell me what you're looking for.
Oh,
Oh.
gotcha. I think Kavesh was probably a little more interested. His first instinct is food and water, kind of the basics, as somebody who's done a lot of like traveling and trading.
Okay.
Although he wouldn't mind finding some kind of weapon in case that chasm fiend tries to come back.
Naturally. All right, keeping your eye out. Um,
I'm also looking for food and water or anything like useful, like rope or anything like that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Let me then have each of you go ahead and roll your deduction. And do
With the
so
raised sticks, right?
again with the raised stakes, yes.
Okay. Man.
All right.
Ooh. So, Kavesh, you are brought up quick in finding there's a heavy section of the bridge that collapsed onto the water supply. It has broken a few of the barrels, but there are a couple of others that are trapped. You're going to have to make an athletics check to pull free one of those barrels of water, or more,
Okay.
depending. For the sake of Loon, you not only find um, essentially part of the wagon that broke open included part of where food was stored. So you're able to actually acquire quite a bit, enough food for 6 simple meals, as well as, and these are balls of steamed lavis grain and pork wrapped in leaves. So they're kind of like a quick, simple kind of travel thing, but a good thing to quickly ball up, put them into a knapsack or even like a spare cloak or something, very easily portable.
Does that mean I can increase my food supply to 6 or up it to 6 from
Up it
up it
by
by 6?
6. Yes.
I was at 1. I should be at 7. There we go.
Excuse me.
So, you also hear a slight moaning coming from nearby by the bridge. Uh, Kavesh, you see near the where the water got smashed, there is a soldier, definitely very deceased, but their long spear is unbroken and lying nearby.
Well, great. Kavesh will grab said spear.
Giggity. Certain Argonian book I want to read now.
Did the Chol survive?
Very much not.
Darn. Is there anything from the Chol that I could scavenge?
From the looks of it, it would be particularly difficult. It did land, as you can kind of see on the map there, with its primary shell facing upward. It would take a while to clear the debris and then tip it over to get at its innards. That's not to say it's impossible, but it would definitely take some time.
Yes.
And you can hear Captain Selenar in a gruff voice. Looks like they have given up searching. He mutters, "We need to get moving before that chasm fiend returns."
Is there
Spearman Varda
GM?
next to him shouts up to the chasm, "Help! Help us!" And Selenar backhands him. "Varda, you crim-sucking idiot! You'll bring the beast down on us!" And then the two of them, looking up to the edge of the chasm, trepidatiously, their words echo. There is no response.
I don't know what a crim is, but I assume you're not supposed to suck it.
GM, is there any world where Kavesh could attempt to remove the spearhead to use it as a dagger, as he's not very comfortable with a long spear?
Yeah, you could break it off to where it's just kind of the spearhead handle. Use it as a dagger.
Sweet.
For any of you who have played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that's awesome.
And then he does have the discreet trait with his agent background. I think he wants to try and pocket that and hide it from the Alethi soldiers, just so he kind of has that edge, just in case.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and you're far enough away and obstructed by the broken wagon and such that there's no roll required for that. You can tuck it away, keep it hidden for now. They will not be the wiser.
Sweet.
Giggity.
So for the sake of, I will need an athletics test, difficulty only of 10, to get that barrel of water pulled out. And then again,
Oh
Loon,
yes, I did roll one at a 10. When you first mentioned that.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, sorry, I should pay better attention to the.
No,
chat
you're good. You were
results there.
in the middle of talking whenever I did it.
So you are able to safely recover that. So that will be helpful. Loon, again, you did hear the minor coughing, some strains in pain from beneath the debris, completely obscured. But you know you heard a voice. It's not like the settling of the wood planks and stuff. That is already mostly transpired.
Can I shout over to, or maybe not shout, can I get the attention of Spearman Varda to help have him help me figure out what this voice is?
You are welcome to try. Go with your persuasion again. It was not particularly effective before, but he just got smacked
but I do
by
have a
his
plus
commander.
4 in it, you know.
He's a little bit chastised, so he's kind of looking for something else to distract himself with.
Hey.
That's better.
So being inspired mostly by having been chastised and looking for a way to help and bring positivity, he's going to come lumbering over to help you. Go ahead, make for me, please, an athletics check with advantage, as he lends you aid, lifting up a major piece of debris. And so you are able to pull forth a bridge member. Kavesh will recognize Iran. You've been serving with the bridge crew, so you'll be familiar with them. They are very, very young, very young man. And he actually has on him one thing that stood out to him that you acknowledged a long time ago. And again, like a late teens. He has brands that mark him as a thief.
Okay. Kavesh will, as soon as he sees him, as soon as he's clear of the bridge, run up to check on him to physically make sure he's okay.
That man's guiltier than Jean Valjean with a loaf of bread.
Yeah, they are hurt. It doesn't look like they have broken bones, but they did have the weight of the bridge upon them. They're breathing pretty heavily. They may need a little bit of medical assistance just to kind of get them back closer to normal.
Okay. Do you want Kavesh to make a medicine roll?
If you like.
Yeah.
And you guys will have brought him over to the side into some shade.
Sweet.
All right, so
What's up with Kesh? He hasn't done anything yet.
he's dying because nobody found him. Ugh.
Oh shit.
Oh, I see. Oops.
Another body under the rubble. Rebel? Rubble. Alas, perished due to not finding in time. But you definitely did lend aid to a couple of the bridge crew. Aran's wounds, again, mostly superficial, so you're able to apply some bandages, stop some light bleeding. A lot of what is wrong with him is likely internal. You might be able to try, once you're in kind of a calmer situation, to further address and assess. But for now, not able to do a lot in the way of making them better other than scraping them off and, hey, rise above it, buddy. We're all okay now. So you hear, you guys are a little bit closer. Selenar is kind of moving over. You hear the scholar, Elia. She starts to speak to the group as a whole, you guys being the only survivors. Perhaps we should, and then Selenar interrupts her. Brightness, this entire storming suicide mission is your fault. Just do what I say. Can I please get a perception check from Kavesh and Loon? Loon, do so with advantage.
Okay. Oh, that's how you do that. Okay.
Hey. All right. So it will take a nudge from Kavesh to kind of draw Loon's attention to it. You can see pooling like blood under Captain Selenar's feet are anger sprin. At first, it just kind of looks like blood maybe kind of coming out from a boot from underneath. But then you realize you start to see the shimmering, the way that it moves is not like a pool of blood, but actual anger sprin. He shouts at Varda to get moving, and then he stalks over. Spearman Varda, of course, coming out then, ready to get moving. He stands over Dural. He says, "We'll leave this one for bait for the Chasm Fiend." He unsheathes his sword and holds it above the older man, and for a minute, it seems as if his green eyes seem to flash red. The two of you
Yeah. So
are nearby. You have just a moment to react. You can tell, obviously, by his body language, what his intent is.
Loon is definitely stepping in front. At the very least, saying, "We don't need to leave him. I will carry him, and if needed, we'll block any sort of downward blow in order to protect the wounded bridgeman."
And Kavesh, I think, as Loon moves forward and clocks that Loon is going to intervene, his intention is kind of move to the side to flank just in case he's needed.
All right. Give me, please, a persuasion roll.
Both?
Just from Loon, the speaker.
Nice.
So you see him holding his sword up. He gives a bit of pause, looks over at you, down at the injured Durrell. It's not about the injury. It's about better survival for the group as a whole. His knuckles tighten on the blade, and is pulling back. Kavesh, being ready and in position there, flanking. You have an opportunity. It looks like you will have to take a physical response. You can attempt one of the following. You can just simply leap into the path of the sword and take the hit instead. You can attempt to tackle him down and knock him prone. You can swing with your own weapon and simply try to attack him.
I think that his instinct is to grab the knife or the spearhead, and if possible, go for a non-lethal kind of arm attack or shoulder attack.
All right. Let me please have you make, considering, of course, a light weapon. Go ahead and make a weapon attack against Selenar. He has a physical defense of 14. Best wishes in all future endeavors.
Does he get advantage or anything because Selenar is not paying attention to him? I've got his attention.
He does not. Unfortunately, because of Selenar's viewpoint, you guys are definitely within clear view. So unfortunately, in taking that strike, essentially, as he is also swinging his sword, he has an opportunity to hit you instead of Dural, but your attack will happen first.
Okay.
Now, we're not an official initiative.
Ooh,
This is kind of a
baby.
situational thing. Ooh-wee.
That'll be a nat 20, sir.
And he's dead.
Oh, oh shit. I was aiming for your arm, but I caught your spine.
No, it's just a really good slash that happens to catch the underside of the arm because he has it up and raised and he's about to swing down. So able to do quite a lash across the inside of his arm there. He is going to have, because of that awesome hit, a disadvantage here. Now, my macro options are, I don't want to roll that. So I might have to go a couple times here. I don't have an option for disadvantage. So it'll be the lesser of these results. What is
15.
the physical defense of Mr. Kavesh?
Is Kavesh being attacked? His is 14.
Kavesh is the one that was stabbing him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it kind of happens simultaneously. All right, and that is the strike. Why? I reckon I will have to do that separate. Oof. Yeah, no. That was meant to be a graze, not a full. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm sorry, I clicked the wrong one. Again, because of your
You're good.
trajectory there. My goodness. He is taking all of your bad dice rolls and turning them into good dice rolls for him. So it is a lot of the force because he's two hands with his sword, swinging down with all of his might. You're able to catch part of it and deal a wound to him. But his blade is going to come slashing down upon you very, very hard.
Lovely.
Can I respond?
Cutting a rend across.
Question.
You can respond in the initiative turn order. What is your question?
Whenever I built the character and you start with supplies, I had leather armor. Does that apply as I'm a bridgeman?
Yes, they will allow you to keep your leather armor. It is not a threat. It makes you
Okay.
sweaty and a little bit stinky on most days, but you don't like to hang out with the bridge crew anyway, so you don't really hear about
Sweet.
that much.
That does give me 1 deflect. So at this
Awesome.
point, I'll
That
take what I
will
can get.
definitely help. Oh, yeah, take all you can get, for sure.
What 1 deflect? How did that give me so many points back?
I think that we both did that at the same time.
Oh, I didn't touch it.
Oh, I might
Because that
have
should have just given
accidentally.
me 1 HP back, correct?
Yeah,
Okay, 4.
um,
Okay, perfect.
I
Sweet.
might have hit the wrong number on the pad there.
No, it's all good. I could have missed something. I just wanted to make sure.
No, you're all good.
Ugh.
All right, so the initiative system in Cosmere is very unique. I think it's pretty cool. And a lot of choosing your place in the initiative order has to do with where you and how you anticipate on taking your actions. You can take a fast turn, which gives you 2 actions, or a slow turn that gives you 3. Some actions take more than one, like quote unquote action. So things like grapple or recover, shove take 2. Later on, you'll find that there are special abilities that might take 3. So you have to take the slow action, or even if you happen to meet a Spren and merge and go through that process, there are, when it gets into the spell casting, some of them have longer. So it's really kind of an opportunity to gauge your intent, if you're moving fast, if you're doing things slow. Also, the PCs always act first. So that is an advantage that you will have all the time. But you really get to kind of choose whether or not you're acting slow or fast.
Wait.
I would like to act quickly.
Oh, okay.
And Kavesh will as well.
All right. So Loon and Kavesh moving into the quickly. Selenar and Varda. You see Varda automatically coming to his defense. Elias stepping back out of the way. Dural, of course, is slowly raising his hands to, just in a subconscious, instinctive response to Selenar raising his blade against him. So the 2 of you will be able to act first, but you can see that Selenar and Varda both moving to get into the spray there. Where was it? There was somewhere that talked about like the blood rage that they get into, and
Ooh, I don't remember that.
yeah, there's a
Well,
bloodlust.
it's like Dalinar's thing that he ends up getting
Oh,
rid of.
The thrill.
It's
the thrill.
the
Yes.
thrill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see, and that's something you guys will be aware of that from your time of serving with the bridge crew and with the Alethi for a while. You'll be familiar with that. Just that berserker rage that consumes them in the heat of battle. Definitely, with the hint of those anger sprin pooling at his feet. Uh, Definitely taken over Selenar. Now,
We are acting now, or yes?
yes, indeed. And I'll leave it up to you guys
Okay.
as to who wants to ask first. Now, in the scene here, you can attempt to use persuasion or leadership to try to convince Varda not to be attacking. You notice that he does not have the thrill overtaking him. He's simply responding in instinct to act with his commander. You can tell that Captain Selenar, however, is just taken over, intensely bothered by the situation, having survived in the fall, taken some damage already. He's definitely kicked over, consumed by the thrill.
I would So this is kind of a tricky situation because obviously Captain Salinar is the commanding officer, and I am going against the commanding officer, which is a big no-no. So I would like to try and do it as delicately as possible to like give Captain Salinar as much of an out as possible, but also try and like explain myself. So I'd love to take one action to like shove him to try and knock him over, and then take another action to try and convince him. But I mean, technically, like everybody, like, look, what you're doing is not helping the group. You have actively injured another person, and every action that you take is going against the survival of this group. We need to work together.
All right. So I would say that your talking is kind of a free action. The shove does take both of your actions for the turn. So let's do the shove first. See if you can knock him prone there,
Okay.
and go from there. Again, you're looking at a physical defense of 14. Rather than an attack check, please make for me an athletics roll.
Athletics. All right.
And again, your target is that 15.
Damn.
All
So I
right,
haven't knocked him over.
And I'm just going to switch your places there. Or actually, let me move you up like that. So you have been able, you kind of shove him to get his attention. He doesn't go prone, but he does slowly turn his eyes full of rage toward you. Make your persuasion roll or leadership, your choice, with disadvantage.
Can Kavesh aid that?
Unfortunately, you cannot, because
Okay.
your attempt to convince him was with your dagger, not words, and so
Fair.
that would not necessarily.
Fair.
I got a 20 total.
He steps
Wow.
back. He's still brandishing his sword. You can tell that the rage still is overtaken him. He's a bit surprised at one of his soldiers standing up to him. One of the bridge crew sticking up for each other, a little bit less shocking. He looks at you and says, "You can stand with me or die with them. Make your choice, outsider."
You're out of control, and your actions are detrimental to the group. I can't stand with you. The choice is up to you.
All right. Little bit of a Mexican standoff there. Bwah, bwah, bwah. Well, Kavesh, you have seen their exchange. You can see that Salinar is. He was paused only because of the station of Loon being a mercenary. So that counts him as like a soldier. He sees Loon as being naturally on his side. And when Loon interrupted him, he's like, "Hey, you better pick a side." And you hear Loon say, "Hey, I'm standing up. I'm not going to let you slaughter the bridge crew people." So you can kind of hear the suggestion as to which side Loon might be taking. You do have quite a wound from that longsword slash. It stings, but you know in the heat of the moment here, you'll have an opportunity perhaps to address that later. More pressing is Salamar and Varda are both looking pretty spry to fight here. What would you like to do?
I think that Kavesh, both practically and roleplay wise, is not going to be doing any convincing with his words. He has low leadership and persuasion. I think what he will do is take a double action to recover, which gets him a 1d6.
Yes, you may use your recovery die to regain health or focus if it has been spent or lost.
Sweet.
Seems like an
Ooh.
interesting system.
So this system was made to have familiar aspects with D&D, but also unique aspects into itself. This is our first time running through it. Well, my first time actually. Kavesh had some experience running some of it. Be curious to hear what you think about the mechanics, but it's pretty cool. I think they did spend some time in playtesting. I like the way it rolls out. I like the things that are familiar. Like advantage is a sweet idea. I just love it.
Advantage is neat. I like whoever came up with that.
Yeah, there are other little things like the plot dice and stuff.
And Kavesh has
Oh,
no
yeah,
more
fun fact.
actions, but I think what he will do is kind of step across, maybe a little westward, to create some space, in case he wants to run in for his next attack.
Okay. Typically, a movement is one of the actions,
Oh shit! Just kidding. I'll
which
stay
you
there.
can use multiple times per turn. Um, as a freebie, because you're recovering, as you're moving over and kind of getting your spirits back up, pushing through the pain, I'll let you just move to the other side of Dural there. That's fine.
Okay.
Um, essentially, the move action is like your full move, which, like, I can't speak for Kavesh. Loon has a movement of 25 feet, for example. You're only moving 10 feet, so you're just kind of
Yeah.
repositioning there. That I'm going to say is okay for the sake of the situation.
Sweet. And that's all Kavesh has.
All right. Selenar looks at Loon, says, "Fine, be put down with the rest of them." Whoosh. His rage, and having been pushed back, set him off a little bit. He is slightly off target. And you can see very suddenly his eyes burn. He clenches his teeth. You can see the surge is getting worse. He did not do that before his strike, but you can see now he's just glaring at you and is very high on intent. Now, he's not paying attention to Dural. He's not paying attention to Elia crying out for the conflict to stop. He's not paying attention to Spearman Varda at his side. He is solely directed on you, Loon, with rage and intent. Spearman Varda, in the meanwhile, is very stuck. Again, he's not one to act very impulsively. Definitely one that holds back. I am going to require him.
Oof.
Wow. So seeing the rage and the intent from Captain Selenar, he realizes he has no choice but to stand his ground and attack here. So he is going to be swinging, well, piercing with his short spear.
Giggity.
Loon, your physical defense.
Is 14.
Ah.
Mm.
So the short spear will strike. Jabbing into your side. Very, very painful. Does Loon have what kind of armor?
That's a good question. Let's see. Where do I find that? Under equipment or
Equipment, yeah.
okay. Leather armor.
Okay, so that should have a deflection of 1.
Yes. Da, 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 da. Okay. Yep. So I took 7.
Indeed, it is painful. You can feel that it slices in, gets in a little bit. The leather only able to deflect a little bit of it. You can see that Spearman Varda did not like. He's very uncomfortable making the strike. He's really kind of assisting Selenar out of obligation. You can see the reluctance, the pain written on his face. Dural is scooting back, trying to avoid the scene, because now that you guys have intercede on his behalf, he's trying to get out of the way, looking on, very worried. Aran, the bridge crew member who you had pulled from the rubble and helped, comes charging forward. And he, kind of from the side, is trying to grab onto Selenar. He doesn't have any weapons. He's kind of attempting to grapple on him. He's not doing it very successfully, so he's not getting a full grapple on, but he will give you advantage on strikes against Selenar, and it's enough to distract him to give Selenar disadvantage against you. You being both of you. So he's creating the distraction. It's not a full-on grapple. He doesn't have him restrained, but he's doing enough to charge in, aid in the situation here against Selenar's efforts. Top of the order. You guys are welcome to act.
Yeah, I will take another quick action, fast action.
I think
Um,
Kavesh is going to also take a fast action.
All right. Selenar and Varda locked in where they are as well. And I'll assume that you guys are keeping the initiative order unless you specifically say, hey, I'm going to switch to the slow action.
Okay.
As far as that will go. But do bear in mind if you attempt to go with the slower for whatever reason, definitely please do speak up and remind me.
Okay.
Otherwise, well, for the first few sessions, of course, I'll be very flexible with that. Eventually, I'll be like, hey, you know better. You're going to have to wait till next turn and reassign.
Yeah.
But for now, yes, go ahead and proceed.
Yeah, so I think Kavesh
Okay.
is as soon as Aran kind of starts to distract Kavesh, distract the captain, Kavesh wants to kind of run between the two to get up next to the captain in that
All right.
area, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Um,
It'll be easier, kind of wiggle your way past Elia. She leans back out of your way. She is still vocally trying to say, come on, we don't have to do this. There's a fiend nearby, and we're all survivors. Why are we fighting amongst ourselves? Selenar is completely oblivious because he has Blood Rage focused on Loon.
I think that while Kavesh kind of past Elia, he might use his free action to banter and kind of say, like, hey, maybe you have something that could help. Just to see, we don't know what these scholars have up their sleeves.
Well, you can guess one of them has her left hand.
Well done.
For the sake of flies on the wall, it's a cultural custom for the lady folk to keep their left hands covered. Those who are more noble will keep it entirely covered by sleeve and stuff. In less formal situations or among the lower born in the populace, they might only have a glove or something like that. It's just a unique cultural nuance.
But also, they have a
Hence the
pouch in their
reference.
sleeve where they keep all their safe. They keep their valuables and stuff like that. Their safe pouch.
Yeah.
It's a big sleeve and
So it's literally
an
like, what
effect
does she have up her
protective
sleeve?
sleeve. Yeah.
I meant to make that joke.
All right, so Kavesh has pushed past. He has made his quip toward Elia. She's just looking wide-eyed, a little bit shocked at the situation. And as a scholarly and noble lady, less familiar with battle situation. But Kavesh has closed the ground. He now stands on the other side of Salinar. You
Great,
may
and
proceed as you will.
he will take a swing. You said we have advantage on him currently, correct?
Yes, sir.
Sweet. And he will take a swing with that knife.
Kerpow.
Ka-chow.
Kerstab. Selinar arches his back in pain. Kind of, not really a shout because his teeth are clenched, but growls through those teeth. His eyes are still on Loon. Without
I'm also
looking, he
going to
says,
use.
Varda, take out the other one. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I'm also going to use my hammer to attack him and attempt, I guess, to finish him off. We're going to do an actual weapon attack now with advantage. Yes,
Si, senor.
and roll. Well, that's not very helpful. Um, I'm still going to attempt to convince Varda to not attack me. I during my attack or shortly after, I will say things like, I really don't want to do this, but you're out of control. Varda, can't you see this man is out of control? This isn't right. Don't stand with him.
Give me, please, your persuasion. And for the sake of it, your target is a 12 to defeat his cognitive defense. Right now, he is allied.
Nice.
Ah, very nice. So Varda is actually going to take a step back, wide-eyed, looking between, and now he's stuck. Selinar has commanded him to attack Kavesh. Loon has brought attention to the thrill having overtaken Selinar, which he definitely recognizes. And he's like, oh no, oh god, what do I do? And so his choice is to step back out of the way and do nothing. He is unsure what is going to transpire and what to do with himself. And so, Selinar in his rage, still going to be attempting to strike. Now, again, he is caught up in that Berserker rage, so it will do more damage if his strike hits. However, he has disadvantage. I'll have to look around and see if there's a toggle for disadvantage somewhere. A 7 is going to miss. Can he get a critical failure? Well, at any rate, His sword is going to swing again. Aran helping you rather, is essentially stopping him from getting the full swing that he wants to get. And so it goes a little bit short, swings by, growls again with rage, and then shouts at Varda, "What are you doing, fool? Be proud." But he is unable to break through Spearman Varda's lack of ability to choose. Varda, looking a little bit dumbfounded, is just looking shocked between everybody, doesn't want to pick a side because he recognizes the dichotomy, kind of what he's caught in here. Does he take command and follow orders dutifully, or does he recognize that his captain was about to slaughter an innocent for the sake of the chasm fiend, which likely still lurks beyond? Elia has not responded to Kavesh and his attempt to goad her into helping in some form or fashion. He's actually caused her to be a little bit quiet and lean back out of the way and observe, awaiting the outcome. We are back up top.
And Kavesh is going to keep going fast, I think.
Yep, me too.
All right.
And he'll make another knife strike. And since he's not going to move... Oh, wait, I already have advantage. Never mind. Yeah, I'll just make a knife strike.
Yep. Advantage is given by Iran, bravely.
Oof.
The young thief,
Did you
seeing the
did you give that
badness here.
advantage?
Oh, the advantage didn't go through. I must have screwed up. Well, I'll just
You
roll
have to, like-
one again.
Yeah, you have to like click advantage
I
and then
forgot
click the
to select
dice.
the dice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it was. I'll just do a standard roll again.
Go for it.
Sweet.
That's better.
Oh, that's much better. And so, because the captain, distracted by Iran, completely focused on Loon, takes another dagger strike, and this time Kavesh is able to find that perfect spot, that opening, jabbing in the dagger in through the armpit, driving it home, twisting into vital organs. Captain Selenar cries out, collapses to the ground. His sword clatters as blood begins to slowly pour from his mouth. Spearman Varda looks on with shock between the two of you.
I think Kavesh will, pull the spearhead right back out and just out of self-preservation turn towards Varda, but pretty clearly could take the spearhead and put it down by his side, and even it opens up his vest as if he's prepared to put it away, kind of putting the cards in Varda's on Varda's table or whatever the term is.
Varda is holding his spear, but not in an offensive or defensive stance. He is standing there just simply watching and a little bit dumbfounded, and is really not taking any kind of initiative upon himself to act. He looks a little bit shaken, perturbed out of it. And again,
Loon is going to
little bit vapid, like he needs to be brought into focus, if you will.
Loon is going to speak to Varda warmly. Thank you, brother. You've made the right choice. I'm sorry that this had to go down. I did not want this, but I appreciate you not continuing the fight. We will be stronger now because of this.
Go ahead and roll for me your choice of. I like leadership. If you want to use persuasion, go for it. Target of 12.
Bam, got it.
You see his head slowly raise up to meet your gaze. He positions his spear, holding it kind of more like a walking staff than offensively or defensively. And he takes a deep breath. He looks down, a little bit forlorn, the body of Selenar, and then looks distant past you at Doral, who is still in pain from his broken leg, leaning up against debris of the wagon. And then he makes eye contact with you, says, I'm sorry about the stab. My first instinct was to follow my commander, but he very clearly was overtaken by the thrill in the situation here. And he looks down a little bit in shame.
What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. There is no hard feelings, Varda. You made the right choice in the end.
He gives a slight nod.
His response is just to finish putting the knife away.
Loon is then going to say, despite his unfortunate ending, the captain deserves our respect, and I will take it upon myself to carry his body with us to bring it back so that he can have a proper burial.
Kavesh is going to kind of side-eye Loon for making such an impractically generous offer.
Varda doesn't have anything to offer. Arana's looking down at Selenar with disdain. Varda kind of scoots his way past and goes over to Doral to offer a hand up. You can see he's avoiding eye contact with everybody. He looks chastised. But you can see he has a compulsion for compassion toward Doral, whose life was threatened, and is now offering to assist him in walking. Elia, the scholar who organized the expedition, finally speaks up. Again, her violet eyes very wide, kind of surprised at the situation, addresses everyone present, says, I'm sorry for all of this. If you can see me safely home, I'll see that you're rewarded by the High Prince. But please, we need to get away from that great shell. And she gestures. And then she looks at Loon and Captain Selenar. She says, are you sure that we must burden ourselves? Perhaps it would be best for him to be left behind. Even if you want to take something of a personal item for any of those who survive him, of course, family or friends. She
I think at
gives
the
a
mention
little
of
bit of a non-committal shrug.
I think at the mention of a personal item, Kavesh's eyes might light up a little bit, and he'll turn down to search the captain's body to see if he has anything else that could be of use.
Yes, he's got a pouch with some what are the orbs called? They're used
Spheres.
for currency, but yes, thank you.
Spheres.
The spheres.
Yeah.
So he has a pouch of some spheres. Let me let you know exactly how many by roll of. So there's only 5 spheres in the pouch.
Okay.
Various
5 more.
colors, a very slight glow. Very, very slight. Those spheres can be used if they're more fresh to, of course, I'm not telling you guys anything you don't already know, probably. You can use
Sure.
them as light in addition to currency and the like.
Right.
Loon will take the advice, or will respond to the question that Elia gave, and agree. All right, we won't carry him. It will be impractical to get him out, but we should definitely bring his ranks or something. You know, if he's wearing like badges or ranks or whatever on his uniform. that we should bring those to give to his next of kin.
Yeah, his rank is actually signified. He has like a cord on the shoulder.
Yeah, we'll bring that. So
All right.
I'll grab that and then
And
ask
his
Alaya
longsword
which direction.
also his longsword is in pretty good shape, and it has a ribbon tied around the kind of at the base of the handle of the pommel. You don't know if that's for decorative purposes, if the ribbon is personal in meaning or anything, but he has made like kind of a personal addition to that. You're welcome to grab that. The long sword itself would not necessarily be particularly burdensome.
Yeah, but I'm sure somebody would appreciate it.
Yeah.
If it's his or if it's fancy in any sort of way, it might be some family heirloom or something. So yeah, I'll bring that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, Kavesh didn't really have much interest in the longsword for himself. Is there anything else of interest on his body?
Not anything that stands out, unless you
Cool.
are looking for like his boots are pretty nice.
No,
Nicer
Kavesh is
probably than
Kavesh being from the Pure Lake area and the Reshi Sea. He's a sandals and barefoot kind of guy, even on the roughest terrain.
Okay, okay. A nice distinction. I like that.
How do
All right.
I add? Oh, maybe it's this. Add items. Let's
Yes.
see. Okay, yeah. Weapons.
And again, you'll want
It
to do that
is.
likely from the demiplane side.
Oh, okay. Go back then.
Yeah.
Here it is. Add items, weapons. You said is a long sword. There it is.
Yep.
Okay,
Regular
long
longsword.
sword added. Perfect. It's in there.
Alrighty. I don't know why his breastplate has a deflect 0. That's kind of useless.
Huh. That's a little funky.
Yeah. I was just looking at his sheet for other things of interest that might stand out. Like I said, his boots are pretty nice. And I thought, ooh, his breastplate, but then it has a deflect 0. So that's just for appearances, I guess. Signify his being a soldier as opposed to none of the bridge crew wear breastplates. So anyway.
Huh.
Once we have finished looting the body as respectfully as possible, I will attempt to gather everybody up and get us going in a direction. I don't know what direction we need to go, but I assume Alaya knows what direction we need to go. So I will ask her which direction she thinks that we should go.
She cocks her head to the side, holds up a finger, pulls a scroll out of her sleeve, and says, "This is a map of the area near the ruins. Let me see. I think I should be able to help us find a way out of the chasm. If we just head toward the ruins themselves, that might be our best way. I will continue to study, but we really do need to get moving." And you guys hear, again, having been distracted by the chaos going on, you didn't hear the subtle sounds. But as you look back, you can see that the chasm fiend, in the meanwhile, has been consuming the remnants of the Chol.
Oh, lovely. The one
Oh,
that's
good.
right north of us.
The one that is right north of you.
Oh no, that's a sneaky chasm fiend.
So yes, to the west, you hear the clicking and scraping sounds now echoing through. They're getting a little bit louder now that you're
Let's
kind of
go. Let's
coming
go. Let's
into
go.
focus.
I'm
Let's.
going to make Spearman Varda. I'm going to make Spearman Varda our rear guard, and I'm going to attempt to quietly get everybody to go the opposite direction of the Chasm Fiend.
All right. Iran will offer to take Dural upon his shoulder and assist him. Once they hear the clacking and they realize that the Chasm Fiend is still present, they really are losing their wherewithal. And although they can't move as quickly as you guys, are definitely motivated to move away from the danger. So as we are going to be moving away from the crash site here, we're about to get into a great fun endeavor. Let us take a quick bio break here. If you need to grab a drink, use the restroom, what have you, let's take 5 to 10 and meet back here together shortly
Wonderful
as the
topic. Thank
tensions
you.
rise. All right. See you guys shortly.
Awesome. See you soon.
I am also back.
I think we might have everybody returned.
Yep.
I never left.
Huh.
All right, so alas, there is only to the east through this canyon that you have available to make an escape away from the chasm fiend. As soon as you round the bend, chasm turns northeast. You can see the canyon floor here strewn with rocks and boulders. About 90 feet ahead, the chasm is going to narrow, and at its base, it forms a crack just wide enough for a person to pass through. That is kind of a beacon of hope that you will see a very narrow crevice, chance for safety. So, endeavors in this system involve a series of multiple skill tests. So, everybody will be kind of making tests while trying to flee. If you achieve 6 successes before 4 failures, light might shine upon thee. But complications may arise. Let's see how everyone does. So as far as the different things that you can do here, you can just flat out flee, which is running at top speed toward the center of the chasm. You can assist an injured character. You can hide, kind of moving along the side of the chasm, trying to hide under an overhang. You can try to find a shortcut, perhaps a safe path that the others have missed. You can attempt to distract the chasm fiend and draw its attention away from the others. You can bring up the rear, which would let the others go ahead, inspire others with your bravery. So, it is up to you guys and how you would like to act. It appears Alaya is simply just running full speed ahead toward the crack in the chasm itself. Let
Giggity.
me. No giggity. Um,
Don't believe him. He's a liar.
Wow.
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 So she is just agility running. Choo choo choo. That is going to count. as one success.
Sweet. I think that Kavesh is kind of staying alongside the two quote unquote civilians, Dural and Aran.
Bridge
He'd
crew.
like to, yeah. Thank you. He'd like to make sure that they get through just ahead of him. He doesn't really feel the need to wait on Varda or anybody, but he wants to make sure that they get through.
Okay. Go ahead then, please make for me an athletics check. Your DC is 15, but you'll be able to make that with advantage because Aran is helping Dural to move too. So if you're taking up another arm,
Sweet.
with all three of your efforts, might be able to push ahead.
I didn't
Not
do advantage again.
with what's that?
Huh.
Oh yeah.
The advantage screwed up again.
I was gonna say results like
Even when
that.
there's one dice, you have to select it. I think that's dumb. I'll just roll again. Whoa.
Okay. You may have missed my thing earlier. When you roll again, you actually want to have a different result to create a contrast. You don't want to roll
That's a
the
Yeah,
exact
concept.
same.
would be nice.
It's
Yeah.
a little too abstract a concept for me.
It's okay. We'll get it as we go along.
Loon is going to want to stand beside Varda and try and I guess I'm taking up the rear as well,
Okay.
in hopes that I can help Varda if needed, but I'm not necessarily trying to get the attention of the Chasm Fiend. I'm still trying to be as
Okay.
quiet about it as possible. If it hasn't noticed us yet, I don't want to make a ruckus.
Oh, yeah, about that. It's definitely pursuing you guys now because you're actually
Okay.
moving bodies. It found easy prey, but the flashy shiny down the way of the canyon has definitely caught its eye. But because it was
Okay.
feasting on the fallen Chol, you've got a considerable head start. With that being said, let's see if we can get another success here. The DC is going to be 10 on discipline or leadership, whichever you'd like to apply. And this is in bringing up the rear, kind of inspiring the others to move ahead and let them know that you're providing them with an extra distraction, if nothing else, as far as contributing to their means of escape.
All right. Ooh, barely scraped by.
Still counts. By an inch or a mile, winning is winning.
So is that 2 successes and 1 failure?
Yes, indeed. Varda looks inspired by you hanging back with him. He has his fist clenching the spear, white knuckled. Looks very worried. Is eager to get things moving along. The other two are attempting to flee to the best of their ability, but of course they are hindered a little bit. So, of course, Dural's injury is holding him back a little bit, but Aran, young, spry, and of course encouraged by standing up to Captain Selenar earlier, definitely has his mojo flowing. Adrenaline. That was the word I was looking for.
I feel like those are very different things.
So that will count as one of each for failure and success. Varda is bringing up the rear as well. And you can see that he is motivated and inspired by Loon's presence next to him. You see him take a look of determination, which you haven't seen yet. He gives you a solid nod as the others are making their way ahead. We've got a total of 4 successes and 2 failures. Is there anything that the two of you would like to do to try to encourage things along?
I feel like Kavesh is really just kind of doing the same as last time, getting the other guys through the through that narrow passageway as quick as possible.
Alrighty. With the charge of Iran, he's pretty well taken care of Dural there. So let me go ahead and get from you a base agility roll. Again, DC
Okay.
10. As you are moving along.
Oof.
So what are we at? 3 failures, 4 successes.
Yes. And with the complication there, Dural, looking around, stops, puts his dead weight into things, and says, "Leave me behind. Perhaps the distraction can allow you guys to make it."
Loon is going to try to convince Varda to help them. Varda, I appreciate you standing, but they need your help. You go. I'll distract the chasm fiend. Get everybody to safety.
All right. Give me a leadership roll. DC 10. Spearman Varda gives you a nod, and he steps forward. "None of that. You've survived this long. We're going to make it out of this."
I think Kavesh will quit back over his shoulder. He must have hit his head too.
All right, so this final test is going to make or break. Were you going to attempt to actually distract the chasm fiend? Is there something else you'd like to attempt? What have you got for us?
Yes, I would like to attempt to distract the chasm fiend. How am I going to do that though without dying? Is the question.
Yes.
Um, can I? Um, uh, can I throw something behind it to make a loud noise, like a rock or something, to get it to turn its head for a second?
Oh yeah, you've definitely got a lot of different size rocks and boulders and such. And there is some water in this canyon, so you could, for example, throw the rock toward the pool in attempt to draw its attention, for example.
Yes, I would like to attempt to do that.
All right. With that, then, um, just for the sake of keeping it tidy, can I get? I'll let you choose whether you want to use survival or deception. It's going to be a DC 15, but you will have advantage on it from utilizing the tools of your natural environment here.
Advantage. Okay,
Yeah,
that
potentially
one with
difficult.
advantage. I'm using deception because I get a +3 on deception.
Noise.
Boom.
Ooh-wee.
Very nice.
So, in your quick thinking, you're able to hurl a rock into the pool. It creates a large splash. And because you're throwing that behind you, that of course is between you and the chasm fiend. And you hear the scrapes on the stone clicking, clattering. You hear a roar like multiple trumpets blasting at once, echoing throughout the canyon here. Even among your feet, and you can see on the walls, the roar is so powerful that it creates a little bit of shaking, small pebbles trickling down from the side. But it appears the deception. You hear a pause, as again, you are still moving. I assume you're not just standing there waiting for a result.
No, I am yeah, tied on the heels of everybody else. Yeah.
Okay. So there, the Chasm Fiend appears to have stopped investigating the pool and your distraction, and everyone is able to make it to the break one at a time. They're moving through. Here, the narrowest point of the chasm, the cliff walls are about 5 feet apart, and Loon, you are the last one to kind of squeeze through. And as you do, you hear behind you again the claws on the stone. You see a horrific sight as the chasm fiend's head suddenly pushing into the gap, chomping its teeth. But it withdraws, unable to squeeze through. And ahead of you, the chasm widens again. Of course, Chasm Fiend, a couple times trying to claw at you, unable to push through. You can see that higher up in the chasm, the gap does widen, but it seems that the injury sustained from the fall has inhibited its ability to climb and pursue that way. So now you've got safety on up ahead. Alaya is urging everyone to continue onward. She says it's about an hour's hike to another branch in the chasm. And she says, we're getting close to sunset. We might consider looking for a place to rest for the night.
All right, I'm going to take off. You guys have fun. Thank you for letting me listen. I have
Oh,
my
of
own
course.
chasm to fill.
Giggity.
Lord.
All right.
I'm eating food. That's a fat joke. Damn it, you perverts.
Yeah, Kavesh is excited for some rest, I think.
Yeah. Can we look around, see if we can find like a cave or something that looks like it'll make a good hideaway spot? Something with one entrance and that can preferably be guarded.
Go ahead, please, and give me, as you kind of are moving about through the next hour or so here, sun marching across the sky. Each of you are welcome to give me a survival check, if you please.
I do not want to survive.
All right,
I
so
think that's my character's thing.
so Kavesh will see the chasm is going to continue on in the northeasterly direction. Surface still fairly consistently about 80 feet above. Very little in the way of handholds. You are able to see as you're moving on the east side of the canyon, about 10 feet up the wall, there is a small cave, a little bit of an inlet.
Wait. Oh, cool.
Awesome. This looks like an awesome spot. Thank you, Kavesh, for your excellent perception in finding this. We'll all be safe tonight.
Sorry, Kavesh is eating a Chick-fil-A cookie.
So previously, you guys were able to acquire some food items as well as a barrel of water, which you've been lugging with you very carefully. Essentially, 4 characters can survive a day on a gallon of water. You've got a whole barrel retrieved from the crash site. Um, there are other ways to kind of improve your comfort during the coming night, or, if not fitting that, contribute toward discomfort. With that said, again, you've got your water. There are puddles of stagnant stormwater found in the canyon, but you know that drinking that can potentially make you sick, so it's a good thing that you have the barrel of fresh water. There are succulent plants that grow. If you have an expertise in biology or botany, might be able to get something out of there. As the night is coming, it is cooling very quickly, and so you might consider building a fire. You are welcome to forage for more food, but you do have, again, those quick meals that you're able to acquire. So up to you guys. You have an opportunity to do a thing to help contribute toward comfort and survival before and after sleep.
Loon has a flint and steel, so
Ah.
I'm going to get together whoever it is that can walk the best to and task everybody with going out and finding a little bit of wood to bring back, something to light on fire, and we'll all go as a group. 2 or 3 of us or whatever are going to go.
Yeah, so that's going to be Aran and Varda. Elia volunteers to assist Dural to the cave and begin kind of setting things up, getting things comfy there. But Aran and Spearman Varda can accompany you and assist.
Excellent.
I did not mean to do that. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. Full disclosure, so Roll20 added a feature called Place Party, which is super cool, but I'm not used to that button being there, and it has the same letter P starting with paste. And so I was moving some character tokens over to another map and accidentally moved all of you guys. It is cool, but it also moves the whole page over. So that, yeah, I put you guys in the wall accidentally. But yeah, so anyway, that sorry about that. That is a cool new feature, but yeah, that throws me off. And it automatically moves the page over too, which again is helpful. But I had done that with another game and potentially foreshadowed like the next scene that's going to happen and just left it there for days. So if anybody logged on during that time, they would have seen like a combat scene that they haven't reached yet. And I'm like, oh, shit. Anyway.
That sucks.
First,
at least in this case, we couldn't see yet.
Yeah.
For lighting. Yeah, I think Kavesh is going to kind of look around since I think he trusts Loon and the crew as far as foraging for something to burn. I think Kavesh is going to focus and see if they can't find any ways to make their actual campsite itself a little more comfortable. As far as, I don't know, just whether it be, moving dirt around to make a weird pillow or whatever,
Yeah, and you can find lesser plants to kind of create like a cushion, as it were.
Yeah, can you trick some of the plants to open up for you so you can take their squishy bits?
No, out in the west, you can coax them out pretty easily. It's pretty tough out here, though.
As they definitely do rescend into the rock with being touched, as is their natural instinct, as it were. All right, so for the sake of building the fire, can I please get a survival test of DC 10? You can also use crafting if you have that as a better skill, but... And the same test...
survival is definitely better for me.
The same test for simply making conditions more comfortable.
Oof. Ugh. Okay, so we don't get a fire. Sorry.
Well, luckily in Roshar, a lot of the time they avoid fire because there's so much oxygen there.
Yeah.
I watched I went down the whole rabbit hole the other day about the physics of fire on Roshar.
Ooh, was that YouTube, or can you send me links to those sort of things?
Yeah, I think it was on TikTok because I finally broke down and got that.
Oh, I don't
It
have
is truly
TikTok.
addictive. But I think that they were clipping it from another platform. Maybe I can probably go back and find it.
Okay. Yeah, if you do, not a big deal, but yeah, definitely anything like that. Little things of interest to add flavor to the world. Definitely send my way by way of
Can
natural
do.
curiosity. Um, so Spearman Varda is going to point out to Loon, why are you using the wet stuff? The dry stuff works better. It has a lighter green color. And then he goes over, forages a little bit, and in his hands he's holding up kind of some vine-like structures that you'll see that reach across the chasm here and there. In one hand, they are kind of wet and noodly, and the other hand, they're drier and stiffer and a little bit darker in shade. And he's kind of showing you the difference between the two, like, use the dry ones for fire. And he's not doing it in a condescending way. It's as if he thinks you don't know that dry things burn better, and he's genuinely, sincerely trying to be helpful.
Oh, I really appreciated Varda. The flora down here is so strange in the lowlands. Up where I'm at, it's much easier to tell what's dry and what's wet. Yes, I will. I will definitely remember this.
Um, he says he holds up a finger and he walks over to a couple of the succulent rock plants and he gestures. You see the shiny of the life spren. Do not burn the life spren. He's
Oh, of
kind of
course not. I would never.
he's just kind of indicating like, hey, if it's shiny, probably doesn't burn as well. You
Yeah.
are welcome to remake your survival roll with advantage now, as he's helped to point things out. It's getting dark; it's hard to see, and he's a native to these lands. A little bit of extra direction here
Okay.
and there.
Let's do survival. Oops, that's not what I wanted.
If we have
Survival.
any
Advantage.
spheres that aren't done, we might could use those for light as well.
You were able to get some spheres from the captain's pouch, and you could have just taken the pouch. But there were some spheres in there that give off a little bit of light. They're not as luminous as a full fire, but in complete darkness, they would definitely help to illuminate.
How long has it been since the last high storm? Are we? I assume that we would have left shortly after the last high storm, considering they come every couple of days. We don't want to be stuck out here during a high storm.
Oh, yeah, and it was
So they.
actually the last high storm that revealed the ruins that Scholar Elia is after. So it was very, very, very recent, actually, within
So
days.
our
Sweet.
yeah, our spheres should be pretty bright then, as of now.
Yeah, I would say mid-range.
As far as spheres go, yeah. As far
Yeah.
as spheres go, in terms of spheres versus fire, the fire is definitely going to be brighter, but these aren't
Yeah.
like nearly done. They're fresh.
Mhm. Can confirm.
Okay, so I was finally able to light a fire.
Yes. quite nicely. And you will find upon your return, once the four of you, sorry, get back to the camp there. Well, Kavesh is already there, kind of making things comfortable. Um, darkness is beginning to surround the makeshift campsite. Only the faintest starlight visible far above, where you can see through kind of the gap of the canyon itself. By the time the first moon rises, there are no dangers that emerge from the shadows. Perhaps the chasm fiend and all of the noise of your escape scared them off. It's been a little bit of time, but things are relatively quiet. Seems very safe. Almost eerily quiet.
I assume
And
we set a watch schedule.
yes, you and your fellow survivors are welcome to kind of set up that watch. But there is too, since you're in tight quarters and are the last remaining survivors of kind of a harrowing experience, Alaya proposes that they wish to get to know each other better. This is kind of an opportunity for you guys to share a little something about yourselves. You have the option to kind of speak in character, reveal, like, not a dark secret, but something kind of special to yourselves. You can reveal to other members of the expedition here. You can also, too, like, if there's something in your demeanor, like if you don't want to be as vocal, perhaps describe in a way in which you are antisocial and not, or even if somebody brings something up, if you have something shady in your past that maybe triggers a memory or even something emotional, you might clam up or show other signs that something in the conversation has affected you.
Mm-hmm.
Elia wants to know about the brands marking your other companion as a thief. And Iran, a little bit reluctant at first and looking around at everyone, lingering a little bit on Spearman Varda as seen as like a soldier in authority. They tell a little bit of a sad story about their younger sister being starving. They returned home to their very humble abode, found that their mother had passed from an illness. Iran realized that she was getting sicker because she was sparing food for the two of them instead of taking care of herself. So she had succumbed to age and malnutrition. He desperately had gone out, attempted to steal some food to help keep him and his sister going. Alas, he was caught. He was imprisoned, forced onto the bridge crew. He does not know the fate of his sister. He has not seen her since. And is a new member, of course, to the bridge crew. Dural has been serving for a while, so. But he will earn an empathetic nod from Alaya. Spearman Varda kind of scoffs, but doesn't contribute much else. Alaya kind of looks about, kind of wondering if anyone else present has committed a crime. And you can tell she's kind of leaning in to help Iran feel better because he shows a lot of shame and guilt. Not only did he fail to provide for his sister, but he also committed a crime and was arrested and brought into service. Or even wrongly condemned, falsely accused.
I feel like Kavesh kind of feeling some empathy towards him for the shame he feels around the theft. Kavesh will kind of speak up and tell his story quickly. he says, I am actually from the strip of Marabithia, just south of the Reshi Sea, and I grew up an orphan, in a small community there, and we live in a land that's not the most fertile, and we all we really do, it was selfish, selfish. Our entire economy was based on that, and we, as I became a young man, around the age of 13, 14, uh, I I found that sorry, I'm halfway choking on the cookie I'm eating. Give me a moment. Ah, I I decided that maybe some extra legal trading could really be helpful for to help provide for the younger ones coming up in the orphanage where I was raised. So I began smuggling, whether it be contraband or information between some contacts in Aesir and some contacts in the Reshi Sea on the backs of the great Taina great shells. Um, and I eventually was found out, and when arrested by the Azish, I was sold to the Alethi to as not as a slave but as a prisoner for labor, as part of my sentence. But all that to say, um, I greatly regret where I am now, but I in no way feel any remorse for breaking some broad laws to help those in need. And you shouldn't either.
You can see that Iran is definitely let more at ease, and they're looking at you in a slightly different light. You can see that they're thankful for you standing up, vocalizing not just your empathy, but also kind of putting the spotlight on yourself. Like, hey, I too have committed some kind of transgression and am also here as a way of having to pay penance for that. Uh, Dural looks at Spearman Varda and at Loon, being as that you're the soldiery types, says, "Hey, either of you ever survived a tragedy like this? Been in circumstances similar at all?" Varda kind of shakes their head, steals a glance at Iran, says, "Oh, I miss my mother too," and then sinks into sadness a little bit and eating his leaf wrapped rice treat. I say rice. It's not actually rice. It's a different grain, but
uh, Loon will take the opportunity to share his story then. I have I've been in a situation that was not too unlike this when I was at home. I was born a third son. My job is to uh, to forge, use hammer on anvil, and create useful things, whether it's weapons or tools. My job is to craft and to create. And one day there was an attack from another tribe, and during this attack, my two older brothers died, and my eldest brother, the first son, was supposed to be the leader of our clan, um, and my next eldest brother is supposed to be the protector of our clan, and without them, we were left leaderless and protectorless, and so the um, the elders of the clan requested that I take upon myself the leader role, and I've been tasked with uh, hopefully becoming the kind of man that my clan needs me to be to bring them to prosperity in the future. But yes, there was definitely an attack, and I lost family members. It was a very dark day.
Aran looks at you, of course, with shared empathy for your plight. Dural looks impressed, gives you a closed mouth nod, respect, consideration. Spearman Varda still looks sad, chewing into their food. Alaya shakes her head with a heavy sigh. Strange circumstances bring together interesting people.
I think Kavesh would want to turn it around on um, uh, Alaya and ask what strange circumstances have actually brought her here and where are we heading now?
She says, "Oh well, the last high storm had revealed some ruins um, that are further down the chasm here, by way I can tell on the map. Um, they go back to the Silver Age. I am but a scholar, and well, I could have sent others on this expedition. A lot of times, those who are less educated will muddy a scene or misinterpret signs of previous culture. I wanted to take it upon myself to be among those who first arrived, just in case there are important artifacts or anything to be found, symbologies, clues to the ancient past. I wanted to see it myself and leaned on my experience and my authority to do so. I had not expected the journey to be so harrowing. I've heard only worst case scenario tales spun, but they are often exaggerated. She kind of looks a little bit
Very,
worried about outside the cave. To even find that
very.
chasm fiends are real, to almost be consumed by one, and she gives a shudder.
Yes, it was very brave of a high lady like yourself to take on one of the most dangerous places in the world.
She looks a little bit taken aback. Her cheeks even color a little bit. She says, "Oh, I don't know if I would call it bravery as much as compulsion, impulse. For all that I have studied, I'm learning now that, well, hands-on experience, seeing things with your own eyes, is very different than being told a tale, and at that, second or third hand."
Loon's going to be glad that
Shudders
she did
again.
not pick up on his sarcastic remark.
No, she took it very, very seriously. like you were complimenting her, and she tried to kind of wave it off, like blushed a little bit at the compliment rather than being chastised.
Jeez.
Well, as the darkness overtakes and everyone is ready, kind of getting situated for their slumber, their various bed places, there's definitely room here. mean, it's a little bit cramped. It's no lofty palace by any means, but there is room for all of you to kind of have your own space, room to stand freely. You don't have to duck and huddle and stay close.
Okay.
You had said you wanted to kind of set up a watch order, as it were.
Yes, I don't necessarily need to be specific about it, but just as long as we know that there is a watch, and one person will stay awake for a couple hours, the next person, or he'll wake up the next person who will stay awake for a couple hours, who'll wake up the next person, that sort of thing. So nobody has to do the entire watch all night.
Okay, awesome. Well, through the course of
Sweet.
that, then everyone will be able to get the benefits of a long rest, which will mean that all of your health and focus are restored. Doral still suffers from that broken leg, but the medicine that you applied, it appears that they are stable. They really just have to kind of ride that injury out the best they can.
Sweet. Anybody know how to long rest on these character sheets?
Like if there's a long rest button, as it were.
Like on D&D Beyond, you can just hit it'll just
Click
reset all
long
the
rest.
values. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
but I guess you just did it. It doesn't matter.
I did it on the tokens,
Yeah,
which may or may not. Looks like they do
it
attach
does
to the
affect
character
the
sheet.
sheets. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Then yeah, you should be
Sweet.
totally
Yeah,
full,
no, I'm all good. I
to
was just
go.
curious.
A nice full rest for everybody. Um, with that, typically this is kind of a good place for us to transition and close out the session here. Not dig into any more time for
Yeah.
Sunday. Things are pending. So with that, yeah, that is actually kind of the perfect point to transition and fade out. With that said, we are going to be moving to Wednesday, so it actually will be only a few days until our next session. Everybody, just to confirm, you guys are good with that shift and with the time frame staying the same? Would you like to start earlier than 8 Central? That's
Is that an option?
as long as it works for everybody. My days are completely open, so we can start at noon if you want. But yeah, if you would like to start at like 6 Central, for example, I can move that back a couple hours and act accordingly. Again, totally up to you guys as far as what works with your schedules, and home life always comes first.
So my only hindrance there, I get off work, and then Wednesdays are the day that we go to the gym. We
Aha.
usually will get back around 6:30, 6:45. So if we start earlier, I think the earliest I'd be able to start is like 7
7
Central.
Central?
If that's
Okay.
possible, I'd appreciate it. But if it ends up not working out, it's cool.
We can absolutely go with a 7 o'clock start time. I will want to update the calendar accordingly.
Yeah.
And then because it's in the middle of the week, just so I know in advance, starting at 7 would mean roughly sessions would end around 10-ish. Does that need to be a hard stop time, or is there flexibility to go over 10 o'clock a little bit? Again,
Yeah.
I don't have a dog in that fight. It's completely up to you guys. Um, I would rather find a good transitional point than like stopping in
Yeah.
the middle of combat or something. But if you guys need a hard stop, like it's not unheard of. So
No, that's cool. It's cool. As long as our if we're going over like a whole hour, then that's a little much. But yeah, no, that's cool.
okay,
Finding a good stopping point is definitely best, I think.
Yeah, I definitely have some flexibility. I don't hardly sleep anyhow, so it's fine.
all right, cool, excellent, very good to know. Well then, it sounds like we will be good to go to continue on through the chasm in our next meeting together. Coming up this Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, awesome. Any final thoughts, concerns, anything to address before we bid each other adieu?
I don't think so.
No, I think that's pretty much it for now.
All right, cool. Well, on the outside, I am going to, of course, continue to educate and burn through world lore as much as I can. If you guys have handy sources or like a good YouTuber or something to share, definitely, I'm all ears. Of course, Joe has provided me with the actual source material called The Books, which hopefully sooner than later I'll be able to begin plowing through.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Good
But
luck.
there are many hours of listening and focusing that
I think
entails.
the Way of Kings is what, 52 hours, I think?
Something like that. Yeah, right around 50 hours. They're all between like 50 and 60 hours each.
Yeah,
Oh,
Wind in
okay.
Truth was 64.
So just a couple days without sleep, just nonstop listening.
Oh,
audio.
yeah.
Yep.
Because I listen to them. I don't speed them up or anything because they're so heavy. So I'm committing a couple weeks of listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough I can
I
listen 8 hours a day.
if you treat it like I did the math one time. If you treat it like a full-time job, you do like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. It's still like a month worth of work.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
that's
I
quite a
saw
bit.
somebody do something similar, but for the entire Cosmere. As far as the hours, it's ridiculous.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
So,
something I'm eager to
280
get
hours
into.
of listening.
Oh wow,
280 hours of listening divided by 40 hours per week. It'll be 7 weeks of listening.
Wow.
just nonstop.
Yep.
Well, I cannot commit
Or
to
not
that
nonstop, but
level.
like, yeah,
Oh yeah, as far as
it's
like
a lot.
making a full work day out of it, yeah.
Yeah. 8
That
hours a
I'm
day.
is
It's a
lucky
lot.
enough.
It's a lot.
I actually get to listen to about 40 hours a week just because constantly while I'm working, I'm listening.
Mm.
But it still took me months to get through the Cosmere.
Well,
All
I
right.
will encourage it to steal my focus as best it can.
All right. Bedtime for me, y'all.
All
All right.
right. Well, thanks for
Appreciate it.
coming,
Fun.
guys. Yeah, we'll keep churning and diving and continue forth as such. Thank you guys for being and participating. I'm excited for what comes next.
Yep.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
good.
Appreciate it.
All
See you
right.
Wednesday.
Have a
See ya.
great evening.